Hello, friends, and welcome to another WSIB Truth Matters with Joe Machado on this beautiful Monday afternoon. I'm sure you're probably still enjoying the last day of your long weekend, and good for you. You should. The weather's nice outside, and it's a great day to spend time with family, barbecuing, and all that kind of stuff. For those of you who thought that the WSIB had accosted me or finally found a way to get rid of me, that hasn't happened. I know I haven't posted in a little over a week, and some of you are probably a little concerned. They just don't know quite what to do with me yet, and I'm sure they're plotting something. But anyway, the reason for my absence for a little over a week is I had some work done in my studio to make it a little bit more friendly, a little more professional looking for you guys, and yeah, it feels great. So it's just testing out a little bit of the lighting and stuff, but I feel really good. I think we've got something really nice here to move forward with. So the last time that I posted, I mentioned that I was going to be talking about the issue of how to refuse unsafe work. And the reason why I got thinking about that was one of the articles that I had read from the WSIB that they had released back in April, and it got me thinking. The news statement that they put out was that they were hopeful that so many Ontarians were familiar with their health and safety responsibilities. This was a statement by WSIB's Vice President of Workplace Health and Safety Services, Rodney Cook. And, they're encouraged by how many people know what their rights are and that they know that they can refuse work that they believe isn't safe. So they got me thinking. How does that reconcile itself with when they're trying to push an injured worker back to work, even though their doctor is saying that they shouldn't be going to work yet, that they're still in the recovery process or receiving treatment, and haven't reached what the WSIB refers to as maximum medical recovery. And then they go about threatening people with, they're not being cooperative and how they're going to reduce their benefits and all that kind of nonsense. So, I thought, what the hell? I mean, on the one hand, they say how, they're pleased with how many Ontarians, working Ontarians, are aware of their rights to refuse unsafe work. And then on the other hand, they're quite ready to push and bully and threaten somebody into going to work prematurely. Um, I don't think it really reconciles itself, and I'm sure you probably agree, and I'm sure probably some of you are going through that process right now, where you're being threatened with a lack of cooperation if you don't return to work when the WSIB is asking you to. So, how does this apply to your claim, and how can you deal with it in a manner that you feel that you're protected, and that you're not being deemed uncooperative? Um, the answer is very simple. You really need to use their policies, what they have in place, um, against them as your armor, essentially, against some of the tactics that they use to get you to go back to work prematurely. So part of my thinking was, well, who makes a determination as to whether a job is suitable and whether that job is safe? And how does that apply within the process of your claim? Well, there's a policy that the WSIB that deals with that, and that's policy 190207. I'm going to put it up on the screen here so you can see it. I'm just going to read from it. And so the policy defines suitable work as work that is safe, that is productive, that is consistent with the worker's functional abilities, and that restores the worker's earnings to the greatest extent possible. That's what they define in that policy as being suitable work. And so, how do they define safe work? And in the policy, it states that the WSIB should consider the following factors when they're making a determination for post-injury work and whether it's safe. And the policy states in part that the work does not pose a health or safety risk to the worker. For example, should not cause re-injury or a new injury, either physically or psychologically, to coworkers or to third parties. Okay, so they've defined what suitable work is within their policy framework, and they've defined what's safe or what they consider to make a determination as to whether the work is safe. And both touch on ensuring that that work is not only safe, but also doesn't pose as a health risk, that the condition will get worse or that there's going to be re-injury. So again, how do you use this tool when they're trying to bully you and threaten you and pushing you back to work prematurely? Okay, so you use their own tools. So basically, I'm going to put this one up for you as well. It's called a functional abilities form. And that form, as you can see, there are lots of questions and there's sections to define range of movement for an injured body area. And it talks about sensory and how it feels and all of these things. So that form is used according to them to determine whether or not a worker can return to work. The worker's functional abilities and limitations are compared to demands of the particular job. Okay, so that's easy. So, and some of you that are going through the situation right now are probably going, yeah, but the doctor said that I shouldn't be going to work yet, that I have these restrictions or limitations, and they're still pushing me to go back to work. How do I address it? Well, friends, we all know that the WSIB oftentimes ignores their own policies and legislation. And in a lot of cases, they make up other rules as they go along. And they'll use that arbitrarily to deem you uncooperative. So what I did with my company for many, many years as a paralegal was we always prepared a case as if we were going to have to go to appeals with that case, because I don't trust anything the board says or does, because I believe fundamentally they are incapable of sticking to their policies and to the letter of the law. And so the only way you can do that, the only thing you can do to combat that is to be able to prepare a case from the beginning with the thought process that it's going to have to go to appeals, and that somebody at a higher level is going to look at this and go, well, that doesn't make any sense to me. This person did everything that they're supposed to do according to the law, and they're denied. And I believe that that person at that higher level of authority is with the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal, the external agency. Because I have no faith in the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board's Appeals Services Division at all. And as I've said in previous videos, I'm going to ignore them and pretend that they don't even exist. Because as far as I'm concerned, they're useless. But yes, prepare yourself that your battle, your inability to return to work, and the fact that they're pushing you and that you can't, prepare yourself so that when you get to that higher level through an appeal, they're going to look at it and they're going to say, this is obvious. There's no reason why this person should have gone through this or have been deemed uncooperative. The Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal does take a close look at all of the information. They don't disregard information. They don't disregard your doctor's reports, your attempts of cooperation. They don't disregard any of that. They are not the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board. They're the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal, and they have the power to overrule what the WSIB does. So, getting back to that, how do you prepare yourself? So your best tool, your biggest support is going to be your doctor. So you take the functional abilities form, the one that I just had here on the screen, and you get a detailed job description of the job that's being proposed for you to return to with whether it's your accident employer or some other employer. If the WSIB is pushing you to go back to work, get a detailed job description, take it to your doctor, along with a functional abilities form that you can download from the WSIB website, or you can go on WSIBsettlements.com and download it there, and take the two to your doctor and have your doctor fill it out completely, in detail. Because that is ultimately what's going to count at the end of the day. Now, the WSIB may disregard that. Of course, they do it all the time. But I can tell you, if you end up at the tribunal, they're going to look at that form. They're going to look at the job description. They're going to look at the doctor's reporting. They're going to compare it. And they're going to do what the WSIB should have done, which is right in their policy, that a worker's functional abilities and limitations are compared to the demands of the particular job. And when the tribunal looks at it and your doctor's stating why you can't do it and providing physical findings and details as to why you can't do that, the tribunal isn't going to ignore that. The WSIB will. They always ignore things like that. I've got over 30 years of experience dealing with these people, but the tribunal won't. So don't be discouraged. Follow your doctor's recommendations. Always follow your doctor's recommendations. And don't listen to these people. Because if you go back to work against your doctor's recommendations and your condition gets worse, or you suffer a re-injury as a result of your condition, then whose support are you going to have? Always follow your doctor's recommendations. Always. But your doctor is only as supportive as how you help him. You need to provide him with the tools for him to be able, or her, to be supportive. And that is a detailed job description of the job being proposed, the functional abilities form, sit down with your doctor. You may have to tell your doctor when you book the appointment that it's going to be at least 30 minutes to go through it, because sometimes doctors are rushed, but make sure it gets done and then submit it. And let them know that you're not wanting to cooperate. You want to cooperate as long as your doctor recommends that you should do what they're requesting that you do. All right, friends? That is your best protection. There is no magic. There's no secret rule or secret trick that somebody can do to make things easier. But thinking ahead is important, and planning ahead is important. So everything you do now, even if it's not going to yield the results that you expect, even if they don't agree with what your doctor's stating, you have that as a tool, and you proceed with appeals and get to the tribunal. Okay, friends? And as always, I don't just talk about these things and leave you without any tools or wonder how you're going to go and do this. No. I've always said from the beginning when I started this channel, I'm going to talk about issues and I'm going to give you the tools to help you address them in your case. So with WSIBsettlements.com. I'm going to put the name up here on the screen, the website. I've developed a series of tools to help you deal with any issue and every issue the WSIB throws at you. All the tools are there. Okay, so this one here, it's called the Unable to Return to Work Due to Compensable Condition. It's one of our docs. Basically, as a member, you go on the site, you click on the doc, you become a member. It's like $25 a month to be a member. It's peanuts, less than the cost of a cup of coffee per day. And I'm not trying to push you there by any means. If you have somebody else that can help you, that's fine. But the tools are already there. And so basically, you can use that doc. Once you have the functional abilities form completed by your doctor, you submit that along with this document that we've prepared for you. You can download it. It's available to you in less than 5 minutes, as are with all of our other docs. And you can upload it to the WSIB and have confirmation that they've got it. So it's there. It's ready for you to go. It's easy to use. Go on WSIBsettlements.com, have a look at what we have there, and I'm sure you'll find something that's going to be useful to help you manage your claim and succeed with your claim. All right, friends? So we've got some exciting things coming up. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about the types of disablement claims, such as repetitive work, changes in work, and others that fall under the category of disablement claims. I'm going to talk about that extensively, probably do a couple of videos on this subject because it's an important one as well. And it really does cover a lot of people in a lot of different types of situations where a person has to apply for or file a WSIB claim. So I'm going to be talking about that, and I've got some very exciting news as far as topics for next week as well. That pretty much everybody who has a WSIB claim or has had a WSIB claim in the past can benefit from. As always, I enjoy sharing this information with you. I've got over 30 years of experience to share information to help you manage your claim and to provide support for you to succeed with your claim. This is one of the mediums that I use, which is my YouTube channel. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed. We're at 108 subscribers right now in a little over 3 months. Very exciting. I've been able to help a lot of people so far with the channel, people that have reached out. So if you're not a subscriber yet, I invite you to become a subscriber. It's free. Nobody's going to ask you for money. Just click the subscribe button and you're subscribed. And you get notified every time I come out with a new video. And by all means, share my videos with others. You probably know one or more persons in your circle of influence that have either had a WSIB claim before or are going through the process now. They may have questions. They may be having some issues. And you might send them a lifeline with sharing this, and they may find something in one of my videos that can be helpful for them. So by all means, share the videos. I appreciate that a lot. It helps me build the channel. And give me thumbs up if you like my videos. Let me know. It's nice to know that. I also read the comments, so if you have any comments, by all means, I look forward to reading them. And if you have any questions, you can email me directly at Joe Machado at WSIBsettlements.com with your details, and I will get back to you. So friends, I'm back. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. And as always, have a great one, friends. Take care.